Okay, hi. So I'm here again and I'm talking to you guys about a really serious issue, and I kind of look like crap because my hair is not done and today's prom and I did my makeup and stuff, but my hair is not like in it to win it. Anyway, so I'm here again. I'm in my bathroom. Those are toothpaste, because I wipe my mouth off after I've done my toothpaste. Anyway, so I'm here again and I'm going to talk to you guys about a really serious issue called self-harming. And I made a video in the past, but it was really, people were thinking that I was saying like go out and self-harm, and that's not the message that I was trying to send. So I decided I would make a new video. So basically what I was trying to say in that video was that people make people feel bad for self-harming and call them emo and like evil and like disgusting and like mental cases. And in my comments you can even see like, you're such a mental case, you should go get help. And I do get help, and what I was trying to say was ignore that. You shouldn't have to be ashamed of your scars or your cuts, and you shouldn't feel like you shouldn't wear shorts or short sleeves or anything like that just because you have cuts on you. Now, with that said, if you are cutting or self-harming, I do think you should go out and get help, because help does help. A lot of people don't think it does, and you know what? A lot of people have this really terrible misconception about therapists, that they're going to tell your parents and that they're all really bad and they're all just out to get your money, whatever. And that's not always the case. Granted, my psychiatrist and my therapist are two different people. My psychiatrist is the person that prescribes me medication, and he doesn't know a lot about me. He knows that I cut and that I have depression, anxiety, and OCD, but that's all he really knows about me. He doesn't sit down and talk to me all the time. My therapist I see once a week, and we are a great match. We have a great connection. Now, to get that connection, it took more than a week, obviously. We started out 2 times a week, I think, and then we went to once a week. It took me 2 previous therapists, one when I was 12 or 11 and one when I was 12, 13. Both of those I didn't really like, and I didn't think they helped me very much because they didn't. I used to have an eating disorder. My OCD used to be a lot worse. But with my new therapist, she teaches me techniques, and she gives me the right kind of therapy that I need. And like I said, we have a connection that I think all people deserve to have with their therapists. If you don't have anywhere around you, like my therapist is a good half hour, 45 minutes away, depending on traffic. Go out and try to find them and see how much your parents are willing to spend. A, because sometimes insurance doesn't cover therapy, and B, how much they're willing to drive. If you drive your own car, you don't really have to worry about that. It just depends on how much you want to spend on gas money. But in order to find the right therapist, you might have to go through a couple therapists. The place that I go to is a whole counseling center, so there are a whole bunch of therapists that I could have tried out, and it just so happens that the first one that I got there was the one that I really liked. She's really cool. She doesn't have to tell my parents anything unless it has to do with drug abuse. Not drug abuse. She doesn't have to say anything to them if I tell her that like anything about drugs or drinking or smoking. She doesn't have to tell them anything except for sexual abuse if I'm planning on hurting myself or anyone else. Some therapists view each of these things differently, so just ask before you tell them something. And if you don't want to see a therapist, which I totally understand if you're not ready, you should come to terms with yourself about it, realize that it's something you shouldn't be doing, and then, accept in your heart that you need help. And I'm not saying you need help as in you're crazy or as in you need to go to a hospital and be in the insane asylum. No. That's not what I'm saying at all. All I'm saying is that if you have a problem, don't be afraid to go out and get help, and don't be ashamed of it just because other people, like people at school, bully you for it. Because I get bullied all the time at school for it. People point out my cuts all the time. They stare at me. I'm emo. The cat got me, whatever. So I get made fun of, but I have a group of friends that are really good to me and they understand, and I'm really grateful for them. So if you don't have that, try to find it. And if you don't try to find it, I will always be here. If you message me or comment or whatever, I will be here. I want to reiterate my story. So basically when I was 11, back when I was younger, I used to have really bad weight problems. Not like body image problems. I used to have really bad body image problems growing up, and like I wanted to be perfect, and I would, do whatever I could to make myself look perfect. When I was 11, I started developing an eating disorder where I would starve myself and over-exercise. At this point in time, I'm not reading off of anything, by the way, I'm just thinking. This is when a lot of people started cutting and started doing things like weed and drinking and stuff. And so this one girl told me, like, I cut myself the other night and whatever. So, at this point in time, I had already tried to kill myself, I think. I tried drowning myself in a cold bathtub because I felt like I was never going to be skinny enough for anyone. So then I cut myself later on for some stupid reason now that I look back. But at that point in time, it was a really big deal to me. And I cut myself, and it didn't really make me feel better. I told my mom right after. I wrote her a letter telling her. She was upset. She said if I ever did it again to tell her. I ended up doing it again a year and a half later. I didn't tell her, and it continued on until now, and that was 3-4 years. So I've been cutting for about 5 years. And it has been a really long journey, and I tried replacing cutting with smoking, and if you ever try to do that, don't, because it doesn't work. All you do is end up doing both. So don't try to replace one addiction with another, because then you'll just end up with 2 addictions. And that's what cutting is. Cutting is an addiction. And I say cutting as in that's the only form of self-harm, but there is punching, there is pulling your hair out, there is scratching your skin off, there is burning, I think I already said that, but there's a whole bunch of different self-harm techniques, and I've done almost all of them. And I am proud to say that I'm getting better, and I think you should too. If you need any advice on how to get better, on how to occupy yourself, on anything, just message me and let me know. I'm a very nice person, at least I'd like to think so. And so if you want a little bit of help, if you want advice, I'm here at any time. So just message me or comment. So this is my story. This is what I meant by my last video. So yeah, have a good day.